so excited to be back again. Hey, y'all, it's Alison, in case you're new to the podcast. Yeah. But we are back.
You're talking to me. I'm new.
Yeah, exactly. My very special guest is also new. He's legendary, but he's new to the podcast. We'll say
right.
that.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, no, back with another amazing episode of Uncharted Alabama. We got Neal McCoy in the house, guys. I'm just, woo! I
don't even know which one of these cameras to look at. There's so many.
Look at all of them.
You.
Just gaze upon. Yeah.
That's right.
Introducing you as, I think, one of the biggest compliments, aside from hit songs, #1 songs, albums sold, awards, all these things, is that when I was a kid at the June Jam.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. A long time. Back when the earth was green.
That's right.
But of all the people that I've seen, in my lifetime, not that I'm anybody special, but, just with
obviously
my dad.
A girl with good taste.
Yes,
well I think
there
it
you
depends
go.
on how you finish
That's
this.
it.
Let me see what you're going to say.
I know.
Well,
now I'm going to change what I was going to say. No, but I saw you at the June Jam and literally, as a kid, said, wow, that's an entertainer. And I think that's much more even of a compliment than anything about a song or any of that, because there are people, be like, oh, that person's got a good voice, but they're not an entertainer. Well, but it made an impact on me. So I was so excited when you agreed to come grace me with your presence, grace us with your presence.
Well, but I'm glad we made it.
Yeah, you're here and just so excited about it. But so I'm going to say one of the most ultimate entertainers. Well, you got like Elvis. And then you got Neal McCoy. Yeah, so it's
Michael Jackson's
it's
dead.
Still alive. That's what
I'm the only one.
You're still kicking and singing and rapping and
so
dancing.
I win the title. It's because I live longer.
We're going to give you a belt, a buckle, buckle.
Big buckle.
Big belt buckle.
Elvis wore.
Ultimate entertainer. But no, like I said, to me, that's one of the most ultimate, things that I could say.
Thanks.
Is aside from your great music and great songs, and you're a great person and just, an amazing career, and also
We've been
a Texan.
Pretty blessed, yeah.
But really, truly, that
Thank
is
all those kind words.
But it's all true. I mean, it really is all true. And I don't know how you feel. What you. I mean, I know you came to the June Jam numerous years.
Many times.
What was your first? What was your first impression? Like when you were coming to the June Jam, were you just like, I don't know what this is gonna be? I
didn't know what it was going to be, and I really had no business being there because we hadn't had a hit yet.
Yeah.
Of course, and I know I'm preaching choir. Yeah. The good old days after fanfare, a lot of artists, whether it's Garth or any of those great big ones, would go. Alan Jackson, they'd all go to June Jam.
Yes.
I mean, it was just part of the giving.
Yeah.
You did here at fanfare, and then you go to the June Jam.
June Jam.
And that was a place. I will tell you a great story. We were rented motorhome. Is what we were in. Well, we pull up there our first year. My wife, we had our kids, had everybody in there. Probably 6 or 7 band members. All in a motorhome.
Yeah.
A 32-foot Georgie boy, I think is what it was.
Georgie boy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the invite to come over. We pull in there, and we were just like, oh my gosh, because along that back fence there were about 100 buses.
Yes.
And most of them had come from Nashville.
Yep.
So everybody had a bus.
Yeah. Helicopters flying.
Oh yeah, man, that's right. And we had to back our little old motorhome in between 2 buses. And we were going, oh my God, it's going to be so good. Just wait till we get off here. We're going to go, just look us,
Yeah.
And we, it's kind of crazy because it was miserably hot, which it could be a lot of times at that place.
Yes.
And so all the buses had overheated.
I remember
a lot of them were overheating, and we were on our little old Georgia boy. We just had 2 air units, 2 top air, and ours were working. So we had a lot of artists,
a lot of visitors.
A lot of them, that's exactly right. A lot of them found that.
Hey, Neal,
Neal's got air over there on that. What? It must not even run. There must just be an air conditioner.
I love it. Yeah.
No. We just had such great memories from June Jam. I mean, it was the first place. We played that first year.
Yes.
We didn't know what was going on. I had 70,000, 80,000 people.
Yeah.
And at one time, some of these festivals had 3 or 4 days of
Right,
people.
right.
And you would have, if you had 70 or 80,000 there, you know, you'd have 20 or 25. But at that time, they were all in. All those fans stayed all day.
All day.
And they stayed all day. They never moved out of there.
Sunburned. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they gave us, 20 minutes. And we didn't have no hits. So we just went out there and did cover songs, but I think I chose them pretty good. That you know, trying to get a little bit up and slow, but we did. You know, I went Dale, and they did it back, and it was amazing the way they had responded. And I'll never forget. Teddy tells this story. But we were up doing it and going rapping and all that. And Teddy said, Neal, I was in there in the makeup room getting something done. He said, I heard this. Crowd was going crazy. He said, oh my God, what is that? So he listened. He said, I stepped out and heard that, you know, heard you rapping.
Yeah.
He said, oh my God. And so he said, I'm going up there and that guy won't be back. Well, so he goes up on the stage and he gets up on the stage and he said, everybody is singing it back with you. He just said, he turned around and said, I'm going to go here. Make sure we bring him back next year.
Exactly. We're going to, you know, now that I think about it, now that I see the
sang
response.
that song, and at the time, I had just messed with it.
Did you come up, like, that was just your creation that you kind of concoct and put together?
Yeah, and you know, it was all to tone low.
Yeah, tone low. Oh, yeah.
So
that was the beginning
we just stuck
of it,
that was the beginning of it. And then when we did it, because I know people would come see us at shows and they didn't know us, and I thought, well, you know, I got to do something that they'll know so we can win them over.
Yeah.
And so
entertaining.
You know,
right?
That's right.
Entertaining people.
And that's kind of when that came around. And man, I mean, it went for years. And it's still, when you have old schoolers that come out, they'll holler. Are you gonna do Dale?
Yeah.
God, I hope not.
I know it is. It's one of those. It's like a catch-22. You're like, it's so great, but then you're like, I would like to sing my hits, like some of my other hits. You know, my radio hits.
That's exactly.
Or my new songs.
We don't care about your radio hit. We don't care about
Deo.
You. Just do that song.
I remember though when you did. I mean, I'm telling you, I was at every June Jam. I remember sitting there, and when you said Deo, and people's heads went. Like people that were like wherever they were, is like, what did I just hear? What was that?
What's going on?
And as soon as you go into that, and then everybody, and there were women up dancing that had been, you know, sunburned all day, you know, all that stuff. But it just, again, I can't say enough. It was just so cool. And when you're a kid, things make an impression on you. And I just will always remember that. And so many thousands of people I run into just. And we talk about June Jam, they're like, Neal McCoy. And I'm not just saying that. People literally say, Neal McCoy, you remember? And I'm like, oh, I totally remember Neal McCoy.
It's funny you say that, because that is my goal. And when we play festivals, you know, we still play quite a few festivals.
Oh, yeah.
And my goal, I know that the biggest audience is not going to be there for me, but and there are going to be other big name artists there. But I've told my people, I said, here's what I want to happen. When Monday rolls around, and there's been 3 or 4 days, and somebody said, man, did you see so-and-so? Did you see so-and-so? And when somebody said, yeah, but did you see Neal McCoy?
Neal McCoy.
That is my goal that I put on myself. I want people to talk about me. Because I want people to like me. And I, you know, the old saying is, you know, not everybody's going to like you. You know, it's just, you can't please them all. And my phrase was, I said, well, if they don't like me, it's not going to be my fault, because I'm giving them everything that we've got.
Everything that
and
you
we'll
got.
Give them an opportunity to like us.
Yeah, right.
And if they just don't, well, then they're just stupid.
Then they just don't like anybody. They don't like anybody. If that's
right.
If you can't like Neal McCoy,
that's right.
You can't like anybody. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But no, and I think one of the most magical things, or whatever, that kind of fell into place, and always with the good Lord's help, obviously. But
that's right.
But is, you know, you came. You didn't have songs on the radio,
right.
And then, man, you started churning out some hits, man.
Yeah, we started having
amazing songs that people sing along to, and so how did that feel? You know, was that something that then you felt like? Do you feel like kind of like your success and people loving you? Because people were then looking for you on the radio. I heard people in the audience. It's like, well, what is, you know, I want to listen when he's got albums and this and that. Did that?
Well, he ain't got none.
Exactly. He said, we don't have anything. But when you kind of had your first, you know, a moment there at the June Jam, do you feel like it changed a little bit for you, as far as people paying attention to you
I can
in the
you,
industry?
It just overtook my band and I, my wife and kids, because the one thing they would tell you at June Jam is no encores. We got too big a lineup.
Right.
Well, that show,
yeah,
I went out and I don't even know what else I did. I know I did Day-O.
Yep.
And we came off the stage, and the crowd was really, chanting and wanting back. And so I just kind of looked at whoever was running the stage at that time, and I said, what do I do? And they said, we don't do encores, but it sure sounds like they want one. Go back out there.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We started crying.
Yeah,
my band and I, because we had never been received. I mean,
that way.
By
that many people.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I mean, it
was a moving time for us. It was so moving that we never wanted to miss it. And I know I missed one because I think our son was being born.
I think that's right. Yep. I think I remember that's what, and I was like, well, by golly, you need to be home for that.
Yeah. And somebody said, well, they made an announcement that you were having, and the crowd still cheered.
They did. I remember that.
We love what we do. We love what we do.
Yeah.
I love the lane I'm in. I'm in a spot that not getting played at radio. I get it. I mean, we just bypass that. But where we are, we have a core audience, and I learned this from Charlie Pride 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I worked with him for a long time.
Yeah.
And he said, just give them what you got every show, and be nice to people. And that is exactly why we're still around, because we are nice people. And we're not just nice to fans. We're nice to the caterers, to the stagehands. Everybody needs to feel special. So we never slough off talking to anybody. And it is a proven fact that works. If you will be good and be nice and put on a great show every night, you'll get invited back. And too. I know you know all the business.
Yeah.
There's so many places you can play that they're going to invite you back, whether it's county fairs or state fairs. And if you'll be great during your show and be nice to people, you can play some of those the rest of your life. And June Jam,
absolutely.
There's one called the Hodag in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. We're going to be there. It's our 32nd year.
Oh wow!
And it's the same reason. It's just be nice to people and be nice to the volunteers,
everybody
that are driving you around and getting you to and from the hotel.
That's what my dad said. Don't burn bridges.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like and I've seen that. I think I do. I've seen that, and I think that's one of the things with Alabama too. They never got above their raising, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
And and thinking like the person that's doing this job or the person that's doing that job, taking pictures with them and signing autographs with the security person.
All the difference in the world.
Not just the whoever came to see you, but everybody, and that's one of the things that was really unique about them coming up is the autograph signing and the long marathon, times of signing everything, hats and shirts and pictures and arms and
sign it all.
That's it.
I signed it. Somebody said, "What's the craziest thing you ever signed?" Of course, they expect you to say,
something. Something.
I signed a girl's horse one time.
Yeah.
And the horse. I said, it wasn't even a saddle or a blanket.
The actual skin.
She wanted to sign the horse, and I said, that's going to.
It's going to go away
about 2 minutes after you start riding that thing.
Sweat. Exactly. I know.
But she was happy. She was so happy.
Hey, that's it. You made her happy. You made her day.
Right.
There was a guy that he had my dad sign his arm, and then he turned it into a tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they come to like fan appreciation, all that every year, and I'm like, awesome, or the Alabama logo or whatever. But just making people's day, making them feel good. I mean, that's to me, that's a legacy. That's a career. That's how
you
can be proud of always. Do you remember the first time that you kind of became aware of Alabama or saw them or heard them or both?
Yeah, probably both. But in the 80s, I was not a country music fan.
Yeah,
I loved a guy that just passed away yesterday, Peebo Bryson.
Oh, I love Peebo. Oh, yes, I know exactly who Peebo Bryson is.
But I love that kind of music, so I didn't listen to a lot of country music until I won a contest in 1981, and they dubbed me country music Shane. I was going, man, I ain't in a country music.
I'm not really. Yeah, that's not really me.
But when Alabama, I never got to see them because I really didn't have enough money to go to a bunch of concerts.
I got you. Yeah.
And they were getting pretty good prize too.
Oh yeah.
And they deserved it. They were so hot. They were like, well, Artist of the Decade, when they won that, I said, you know what? They finally got one of those right.
Oh.
And because they were the Artist of the Decade, they were actually artists of about 3 decades.
Yeah, right.
But they couldn't just give it to them 3
right,
times.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Then you have people
like,
rapping.
Like, what? Yeah, exactly.
But I
agree.
I remember my favorite song, "Old Flame," and I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, yes.
You know, down. It was so simple.
Yes.
And then you hear Randy's voice.
Yeah.
I saw you stare. And you just go, it's like that. I know, but I knew you knew when it was
soon
Alabama.
As it came across,
and it was Alabama, but it was really Randy Owen.
Yeah.
I mean because people, that's what they knew.
Right.
Oh, Alabama.
Yep.
Well, they all have names, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a group name.
Absolutely.
But then I fell in love with them.
Yeah.
Not unlike all the other people falling in love with the Eagles.
Yes.
They were doing the same thing. It's because those harmonies were so great.
Yep.
And the music was so great, yet still so simple. That was it. And I think that's part of the thing that you got to figure out. Don't get too big above your raising. I'm going to tell you a story about your dad.
Yeah.
I've been on 2 tours in my career.
Yeah.
Alabama in 96, Blake Shelton 2014. And Randy and I were going by a radio station. You know, I was out there and they were taking us to go suck up to those guys. And,
that was a good, I loved your face just said.
Oh, you're God, one more radio station. Yeah. Can you play over here in our room and the bathroom? That's all we got. But would y'all mind?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I told Randy, I said, Randy, and because I would watch every show, but I stayed for I believe that song.
Among Us, yeah.
It just brought people together because everybody feels that same way. And we were going to a radio station, and Randy and I were just sitting in the back of his limo talking. I said, man, let me ask you, what does everybody think about Angels Among Us? I said, and he said, a lot of people love it. There's some people that just don't get it. And he told me that, he said, Neal, he said, the easiest way I can tell you is if you believe, then you get it. If you don't, then you don't know what you're missing. And I thought, boy, what a great way to put it. Instead of just trying to set it up and talk about it for 10 minutes, he just said, if you believe, you get it.
Yeah.
I thought, that's exactly right. It can be so simple.
Oh, simple. And that's why it connects.
That's exactly right.
And they did, I don't know if that time, if y'all talked more about it, but it was very, kind of not supported industry-wise.
Oh, well.
You can imagine, I'm sure.
And it's,
nobody. And I've said this.
It'd probably be worse. Those people that didn't like it then hate it now.
Exactly. They're like, nope.
Oh.
But it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you just kind of make that stand and go, this is who I am and this is
what
I
believe. But the thing Randy
did,
he didn't push it on anybody.
Right.
He just sang the song and let all of us decide.
Yeah.
And I would watch that thing, and man, the people were lighting their cigarette lighters, and all before you had lighters on your phone.
Yes, exactly.
People all hold up phone. I said, oh my God, y'all are so young and stupid.
I know. It's like,
get your cigarettes out and get that lighter.
Get to smoking.
Don't act like you're not smoking. God,
used to somebody had a lighter.
Somebody had
somebody
in your pack that you was running with.
Exactly. Somebody you came to the concert with. I had a fan that sent in a comment, and she said, I had a special jacket that I used to wear to Alabama concerts, and I would always have a lighter in it.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm like, how cool is that? But it was a silky, one of the silky jackets, silky. And she's like, and so I was just like, well, that's a great story. But that's the difference in now and then. It's like, you can't have a lighter.
No.
And some people don't even know how to use them. How do you do this
That's
thing?
why they stop setting something on fire next to you. Oh,
that's
my God.
it. I know. Set something on fire. But yeah, that's kind of the way Alabama concerts were back in the 80s. There's little explosions, little craziness and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's about the connection and part of it. Like, so you said you on tour, you have any, what was it like on tour with Alabama that you can tell?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Randy came to me and he said, probably about 3, so I think we're going to do 15, 20 shows with him.
Yeah.
He came to me about the 3rd show and he said, let me tell you what you've done. And I said, okay, this ought to be good. He said, you have made us better. And I said, wow. Oh. He said, because you, with your attitude, you go out and entertain and you're slaying people. And he said, we've talked about it. He said, we kind of talked. He said, you know what? we need to be better.
Hey, that's it.
Because he's opening.
Yeah.
And right now he's letting all the oxygen out of the room.
Yes.
So we got to bring some oxygen with us.
No letdown. There's
but he
said
letdown. We practiced.
That's awesome.
Practice because we knew you were going to be that guy.
Yeah.
And he said, and so you made us better on that tour. And I said, wow, that's awful.
That's something to say.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something to say for sure.
Yeah,
but
made me feel good.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, so I know you said Old Flame and Angels Among Us. What about if you're going to play in Texas? Because you're a Texas boy.
Well,
that's an obvious.
That was a given.
I mean, that's a given when you go.
Band.
Yeah.
You gotta have.
You know what's funny is that was not slated to be a single, and radio started playing it, the B-side.
Right.
Or it was the B-side, and I'm Not That Way Anymore, which is a song that they just wrote and performed live one night in Dallas, but was supposed to be the single. But I'm Not That Way Anymore. They flipped it, and radio was like, nope, if you're going to play in Texas. And so then number one. So
probably flipped. Somebody in Texas probably started playing.
I think, well, and there's enough radio stations in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
If
you just get all played on every one of those, you're ahead.
That's it. We were talking earlier about when they played in Texas, and they didn't know that if people danced, that would that was a good thing.
Oh.
And they thought
because they've been doing concerts.
And they thought they were like, nope, they don't like us in Texas. And it was like, no, they love you in Texas.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So talking about Texas and performing in Texas, did you start there and then branch out, or did you kind of start touring all over?
I played before I even started listening to country in the late 70s stuff.
Yeah.
I was in an all-black band. I was a lead singer in an all-black band.
Okay.
So I would just stay in the sun a long time and get out. But so I was into James Ingram and Luther and Jeffrey Osborne. That was the kind of stuff. So that's when I started singing, was that kind of stuff. And then in 1981, my wife and I had gotten married in 1980. We've been married 45 and a half years now. Oh my gosh. Don't clap for that.
Yes,
that's stupid.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. Of course, amazing.
Hey,
it's amazing. Runs in your family.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you. That's a lot.
Yeah. But I didn't know a lot of country music because I listened to so much of
other stuff.
But then when I started listening, and I got to meet Charlie Pride.
Yeah, love Charlie.
Because I tell you, I was a
Charlie
musical snob.
Yeah,
I was a singing snob because country music, I thought anybody can sing it. It's 3 chords. It's got about a 1 octave range. You're cheating and drinking, la 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 la. And so I was that guy.
Yeah.
And then when I met Charlie and started doing some research and listening to him. Yeah. And then listening to the Randy Owens and the Conways and the Haggards, I thought, these guys are so great.
Yes.
George Jones, they had about a 3 octave range.
Yeah.
Because they drop it on, they do that. And then they go up and I just went, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So when I finally did slow down and started listening to country in the 80s.
Yes.
Then
you knew. You're like, this is I think people kind of do that anyway with country. They kind of, they sort of kind of like, but there's complexities to it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's not just your typical, when you get into it.
Oh,
when you get into it, there's a little deep. More. And people find that too with Alabama's music when they're trying to play it.
That's exactly right. Les can attest to that. He's an elementary player.
Yeah, and you try to play it, and people have asked my dad before.
It's not 1-4-5. It's not just.
It's not, and the tempos change, and then some of them don't have bridges, and then it's like you're just playing, and then it's like, well, that kind of sounds like the note.
But I think they would stand. That's how they kept fresh. So fresh is because you wouldn't just have a swing song or just on an album of theirs. You had a little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
But again, I think it's probably right. Your old club band couldn't play it. So they were just going.
Yeah.
Or they play it, but just miss about.
Exactly.
Yeah, just bypass.
They bypass a few of the chords and the guitar lick.
They play that. Anything else in between that? That's just fluff.
That's it. That's like, we'll just play the simple.
I don't need to learn that because I can't.
We're good. Yeah, it'll be fine. We're good here. But but I think that's what's cool too is, when you get into it and you go, oh, that's, if people are kind of on the fence or not really aware, if they start trying to play it and go, oh, there's a little more here than I thought.
That's
a little more that meets the eye, kind of situation. So, okay, let me take a little break real quick because I love talking and then I forget and then Melissa has to remind me and we have to thank the sponsors. So we're going to take a little quick break and then we'll be right back. And now we want to send out a huge Uncharted Alabama thank you to our sponsor, Gibson Guitars. Thank you guys for helping us keep the lights on.
Your vision deserves more than ordinary.
Audio recording.
Cinematic music videos.
Professional photography.
One creative destination. Endless possibilities. Need to record your next song? Film a killer music video? Capture stunning photos for your brand, project, or career? Durant Studios brings over 20 years of professional production experience to your story.
Audio video photography. Create louder. Look better. Stand out.
Durant Studios! Where creativity comes alive.
We are back. Thank you, sponsors. As always, we appreciate it.
Thank you for telling them to get me on here, too. Thank you.
Thanks for helping us to get Neal McCoy on here because he's a rock star and a legend, and we absolutely love having him on here. So we're going to continue the conversation.
Yeah, please do.
So I want to ask you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no. But what is a song of yours that you thought? Because Dad and Teddy and Jeff, they've had songs that are like, this is going to be a single, and it wasn't ever a single. What's your favorite song of yours that wasn't a single?
I can almost tell you a reverse side of that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Barry Beckett started producing me in early 90s.
Yeah.
On
Legendary.
Atlantic. I'd have been with a couple other people, and Rick Blackburn said, no, you and Barry get together to come up with music.
Yeah.
So we did. And we did on our first album with him, we had it was great. Had some few number ones. And then on the second album, I was thinking, I'd been out looking for songs.
Yeah, looking for songs, yeah.
And Barry played me a song. And I said, He said, you don't like it? I said, man, I don't like it.
I do
and
not.
And I said, but let me ask you a question. Do you think it's a hit?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I do. Of course, you never know.
You don't. But Barry Beckett saying that's a pretty good odds. Yeah, if he liked it. Yeah.
So I said, well, then I'll record it, Barry, but just know I'm recording it under protest.
Right.
He just kind of snickered, or something. And it was for a change.
Yes.
I can see a little sunlight. And when we recorded it, I still didn't like it. And then we ended up, Rick Blackburn ended up putting it as a single. And it was a great big old single.
Yeah.
And so I got back at him, though. So even after it was a hit, I didn't play it for the first 25 years. I just said, I don't like that song. I don't give a damn.
I
know
care
it's good.
Exactly.
I just don't hear it.
I hear it.
And then finally, only about 5 years ago, it'd come on a track that the guys, when they're running the front of the house, they'll try and put on something.
Play the music, yeah.
And so it comes on, and so band members would say, who's doing that? I said, oh, that's one of my songs. They go, man, that's a great groove. I said, it is? I said,
well, maybe I don't know anything.
So we worked it up, and now we don't do it every night. Because when I think about it, I'm going, I ain't doing that song.
Exactly.
I'm putting my foot down.
That's it.
But then I'll end up doing it. But that was the reverse side of it.
Yeah.
I'd hit, when you're hot, when you've got some stuff getting played, then you really do get pitch better stuff.
Yes.
The great writers will toss you a bone now. Whereas before you go to someone and you just go, they say, hey, we got a guy named Neal McCoy.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was enough for them.
That was
I don't know him.
Yep.
I'm not pitching him.
Not pitching a song.
I got other people.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, when I had a song technically early 2000 called Billy's Got His Beer Goggles On.
Oh, yes.
And I had started my own record label, and I tell people the truth on that. Because people come up and say, you doing interviews like this, what made you go, start your own label? And your typical answer is going to be, well, we just disagreed. The label and I disagreed on some stuff. Yeah. Maybe taking a different direction. I said, let me tell you what happened. Nobody would sign me.
Yeah.
So I had to start my own damn label so I could record what I wanted to.
That's it.
So I recorded my daughter. It's a long story. I'll make it quick. My daughter, when she senior in high school, had dated a kid from Crogotech, about an hour away. And then you're in high school. That's a long way.
Oh, yeah.
So her boyfriend ended up starting junior college. He got killed in a car wreck.
Oh, gosh.
I know it. We were driving down there in that hour. I was taking songs. I was getting pitched. So I had a whole CD full of pitched songs.
Yeah.
and we're playing, and I put on, one of them was Billy's Got His Beer Goggles On, and I put it on, and said, man, that's great. And we played it again because it was exactly like her boyfriend that died. In that when it was like, you sing loud, you don't sing worth a crap, but you know all the lyrics. You know that person, you're that person. Billy, Billy.
Billy, that's Billy, yes,
and
exactly.
that was exactly him. So I told Mickey on the way down there, I said, I'm going to record that song.
Yeah.
For Chase, if that's okay.
Oh.
And she, oh God.
Then she's like, yeah.
Then she thought, that makes a lot of sense. And it ended up being a hit.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. So for a while, I was having to do it every night. And
choke you up?
Yeah, I would start thinking, and that's not a choke up song. People go,
no,
what's wrong with this guy? Oh my God, he's on the dance floor. Everybody's drunk and he's crying.
Listen, remembering people doesn't always have to be like slow sad.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be happy, fun.
Well, that song reminded us of Chase. Of Chase, yeah.
That's the thing too. You never know with songs. Like you don't ever know what it's going to do or connect or how people are going to see it.
You have no idea.
And I have kind of told the story to different people, but Can't Keep a Good Man Down.
Oh,
Alabama song. A guy, sent in a message and said, I was going to end it. I was going to end it all. And had my cassette tape in, and Can't Keep a Good Man Down came on. And my dad was like, I never thought that song would, potentially change someone's mind or save their life or whatever, because you just don't know. But I think that's what's so cool. You put the songs out there and it takes on a life of its own.
Yeah.
And talking about with Alabama's catalog, there's just such a variety of things and emotions and all that kind of stuff, and Roll On, but then there's a lot of them that are, were never singles, but it still means something to somebody.
Oh,
and so
Feels So Right.
Oh, Feels So Right. Yeah. And his teacher told him she didn't think he'd ever make anything. In college, he played it for her because she said, what are you going to do when you graduate? And he wanted to get a degree, and so he played it for her. And she told him years later after he walked out, she said, he's not ever going to make anything in the music business.
Poor little fella.
Bless his
He should have just got him a shovel and went to work.
Go get a job down laying carpet,
Right.
which is what he was doing, trying to make ends meet. But so you just, you don't ever know. But I think the connection and what you're talking about too is just Alabama being able to go out and people still responding, and you said people are like, hey, Neal McCoy book. People know what they're getting. They know what they're getting. They can sing along to the songs, and they know. And then
once you're good, that's out there. So any promoter, because they'll call other promoters and say, hey, what do you think about this? And they'll say, don't get him.
So how does it feel to be that guy, to be that kind of guy that people are like, Neal McCoy, I can go.
You know what? I don't know.
If I go to an Alabama show, I know what I'm going to get, right? It's
That's exactly right. I don't know when it became like, just like I'm now, and for about the last 5 years, legend Neal McCoy is going to be, just
yeah.
When
are, man.
But you never know when that's going to happen. So you try to earn it.
Yeah.
But you're never, and you think,
you don't know at what point it crosses over, right? You're like, wait, I'm not old enough to be that.
Legend. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Sound like they put me out to pasture.
Exactly. You're like, no, I'm still touring. I'm still singing. That's exactly right. All that kind of stuff. So yeah. What do you think is, as far as the group Alabama, one of the most enduring things about them? I know music is obviously part of it, but as far as just the guys themselves,
that they've managed to even stay together, that is a tough get. It's hard when you're all crammed in. Everybody's crammed in, and just like they were in the earlier days.
Yes.
I just loved that they've been able to keep doing it.
Yeah.
As long as they've been doing it.
Yeah.
It's still relevant, and they are legends, so they get treated like they should be treated and not just by people that are booking them, but other artists. Mm-hmm. That's an intimidation thing. There's an intimidation factor in there to where it's like, man, I love them, and I'd love to go say hello, but do I or do I not?
Right.
And so I've known them all the time.
Of course.
I talk to them, but I can understand because I used to be that younger person.
Yeah.
When George Jones or hagging him around, he's like, man, I really like to just say hello and visit for a minute, and then because you think I may not ever get that opportunity.
Right,
I remember that though when people are coming up to me.
Absolutely.
And I'll take the extra minute to spend with them because I know it took something of them to even say, hey, man, my grandmother loves you. I just,
I know. You're like, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. Well, you know what? If your
Yeah,
grandmother loves you, that means you listen to it too. You know, the kids. That's the thing. You're
got
like,
them started.
I know y'all heard it too. Well, you know, and talking about just sort of, you know, I know you said you listen to a variety of different music and all that kind of stuff. I think that's one of the things over the years that's been really interesting to me is when I've been with my dad. My brother and I went out to the American Music Awards a couple of times with him.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really interesting seeing.
That's a different award program.
Oh, yeah, totally. And this was years ago. Dick Clark was still with us.
Yeah, they were still new.
Yes.
Kinda.
Oh, it was still relatively new. But just seeing some of the artists that would come over and say, man, I love your music. It was not country people.
Yeah.
I was at an event. Smokey Robinson walked over from across the room, and I was like, Dad, Smokey Robinson's walking over here. And he was like, oh, yeah. And so then they talked. He's like, hey, Randy. Yeah. And I was just like,
you got to be kidding me.
What? My girl? You know, teardrops. Yeah, of a clown. Like, it was, yeah. And then Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20 came over. And so it was just, I think that's one of the things that's just so cool is just when you create music or you have a career or who you are connects with people on a level that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from, where they're from, what kind of music they listen to or whatever. There's still some sort of connection there.
Yeah.
You know?
I can tell you, Charlie told me this too in the early 80s, he always said, be nice to people, put on a great show.
Yep.
So we did that, and other people that as they're coming up, you know, they're in the same spot at the time when we started to have hits. Yeah. It's awkward for them too, you know. It's just awkward. So someday, and I always forget, if you're the main act, are you supposed to go over and say hello? You know, I get confused on that.
What's the order here? Yeah, exactly.
Are they supposed to come over and So I kind of hang around outside hoping one of them will walk by and, you know, and then hey, what's going on, buddy? And then you've done what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
but I always get confused on that.
That makes sense. Yeah,
and I think it depends on what kind of relationship you have.
True.
With some of these people. Yeah.
But like I said, there's a warmth and camaraderie with you know, like when
There's got to be a pecking order. Somebody needs to write that. Right. You need to come up with, if you're the opening act, then it's your job to go see the
We're
main
gonna work
act.
on that. We're going to work on that. We're going to
start that.
We're going to get that going.
But I get part of it.
Neal McCoy's pecking order list.
I've been on both ends. I'm there now. Here I am coming back down here.
Hey, but that gives you a perspective, and you always stay hungry, doesn't it? Like you always want to do what you're doing and entertain and all that kind of stuff. And so, what do you want your legacy to be? And I know again, can be a loaded question, but just right now, if you were just had to say like, this is what I want.
I think I want people that know me now to remember me now. Yeah. Because I always try to be the same person. Yeah. So if you're going to be goofy on stage, you know, be goofy down here too. Just be the same, but then you got to change.
Yeah, exactly.
You just go from shuck and jiving to the stage, and you shuck and jive up there. But I think I want people to know that I treat people nice. Yes. I take extra time with them, and that is all a thing I've been using. Not too long ago, of course, I say the pledge. You know, for a long time. Yes. Somebody said the other day, Neal, you're no days off, and I started using that because I thought. So my new shirt's going to be no days off, and it is for the pledge. Yeah. All those that never taken down, and I've been saying it to just recently, last maybe week or two, to people that listen to our pledge, and you know, a lot of people listen to. That is my attitude in life. No days off. Yeah. Because the only true days, if you're like me, that you can have off, and not even a day, but a little time off, is when you're around your family, because they sadly get to see. You know, the guy that is tired. Exactly. That is not going to smile right now. Exactly. Because they'll put up with it.
You know, it's a lot. It
is a lot. It can be a lot. But to me, I understand that it's a lot. Yeah. And I can handle it.
Yeah. You maneuver. Yeah. You figure it out.
That's the way. I mean, usually I'm not going to do anything drastic, but that no days off thing, that is our attitude when I go on for a show. Yeah. Every time I go to a show, I'm not taking it. I never mail it in. Yeah. It's always, this is what I got. Yep. I'm fixing to give it all to you. Yep. And I tell people all the time, I said, I don't do encores. Yeah. So even if you liked us enough to give me one, Save your breath.
Save your breath.
I ain't doing it. I said, I'm finna go in that bus and I'm gonna be asleep. I'm gonna be out my clothes and sleep in that bed before you even get to your car in the parking lot.
Right,
but I do give them
we're good.
everything I have.
No, that's what I mean. You guys that's where I see parallels is that you're out there entertaining and feel like you see the audience and you interact with them. And like I said,
want the last person in the last row to feel like I'm singing to them.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's a tough get, but it can be done.
Yeah.
But
it is work though.
When you're out there, you have to concentrate.
Yes.
I'm working here.
Yeah.
Let's get those people.
Yes.
Come back and work here a little bit longer. Let's get those people.
Yeah.
And then, but it is a conscious effort.
And that's why when you're done, I know with my dad and Teddy, when they're done with a show, they're like, my dad's like, and as you older you get too, it wears on you a little more, but you're giving everything that you got. And I think that's a thing that's evident with you.
All they've given them is about 40 number one songs in a row. I got a lot less to give them than that. So see, I got to create more.
Hey,
they just do what they monster hits. I just go, well, there's one hit. I ain't got but 4 more left in this show. So, let's do that Dale song. Hey, I can last after 6 or 7. That'll kill 6 or 7 minutes. Then I got to.
I love it. No, listen, like I said, it's about making memories, and people never forget how you make them feel.
That's exactly right.
So if they leave a Neal McCoy concert and they say, I love that guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want them to say.
That's what you want them to say. Yeah.
So like when you're leaving, it's like leaving a friend's house. You've been on your friend's house for a couple of hours and just like, I guess you better go.
Yeah.
Boy, I sure enjoyed that.
Yeah. We're going to ease off of bed and these nice folks can go home.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and so in that vein of leaving people feeling that way, what do you feel like Alabama's legacy? Kind of like as there, we've talked about yours and but as far as their legacy.
I think it's been spelled out, and it really depends on how old you are. Because if you're my age, I'm younger than them, but that was in my big growing up days.
Yep.
That they were hugely popular.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on who you're talking to, on what answer you'll get, because the age group, if you're fairly young, you just say, well, I listen to a lot of their stuff because my granny and grandpa loved it. They used to play it, so all that. But I think it's already written out. I mean, they know what they're leaving behind. They already get it because and as big as they are, and still are, but big as they were in those days, they know that people have been experienced everything through some of their music.
Yeah.
At one time in life. So they literally, some of us middle-aged people, they literally have had a soundtrack to a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
And I've heard that term. People use all that. They even used to me, boy, your song, your soundtrack to my life when I was in high school or something.
Yep.
They have a real soundtrack. If you knew them, because they have a song, at least one, multiples usually, for everything. If you want to be upset, if you want to be mad at somebody, you can go find an Alabama song. You go through their catalog and you can find something that will fit every person's mood at any time.
Yeah.
And that is valuable.
Absolutely.
Because when some of those moods are, when you are mad or when you're sad, those are the things that you remember. Those hit you in the heart. And so when you hear Feel So Right, just go, and I know exactly what that song is saying.
Absolutely.
I know exactly what that song is saying.
Yeah.
And how it affects you and the way you look at life. They had something for everybody.
Yeah.
So, and I think they'd be glad to know that. And I don't know that, because I don't know that people know how to say sometimes. I don't know. That's why I blunder around and kick around. But some people, if they could just have a minute with somebody like Alabama with all the songs, they would tell you a real story that song and it could, like you mentioned, save somebody's life. Well, they've been everywhere and done everything. Yeah. So their legacy has already been written, but it's a legacy by each individual person, because you wouldn't have
love that.
You wouldn't have somebody else give the same legacy.
Yeah. Because
they meant so much to everybody. It just depends on how they affected you.
Yep. I love that. That's fantastic, Neal. I mean, and I totally get that, because it literally is. It's like it can be whatever it can be to any individual person with the songs and the soundtrack of their lives, and I mean, that's awesome. Look, you're like you've got it, man.
I got this squeaky ass chair.
And
I was like,
You get
what were they doing in there?
squeaking.
I know they act like they were talking. I was here.
It's
That Mexican guy just kept rocking.
It's a crazy podcast. We're getting crazy.
That's right.
No, that's awesome. That I think that I don't think there's any better way to put that.
Well,
and
thank
so
you.
yeah, no, I mean really, I don't think, and that's why we're here. We're
Yeah.
it's sending out love to Alabama and what they've
yeah.
meant and what they mean, and also a love
And
letter
will
to
mean,
fans.
and even
Yeah,
if they
yeah,
even if they stop pretty soon,
yeah.
it's written. I mean, people, they're just going to have those. They're going to have those stories.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that some people now, even younger ages, can go hear them and they're still live.
Yes.
They're still doing those songs that they've heard about
Yes.
from their parents and their grandparents.
Yeah.
They'll go sometimes to a show because they may have listened to it 1,000 times with a grandparent. Now they get to go and listen to it and they go, oh, wow.
Actually see them. And that's what I always encourage everybody on the podcast. I always encourage, go see people sing live. Go see
Yeah,
Neal
I
McCoy
do
sing
too.
his songs and entertain you, because that you don't get that experience back. That there's
Yeah.
nothing that you can do to fake that. You either go see them live or you don't. And when you have the opportunity, go see them.
Yeah.
So when people want to go see Neal McCoy, where can they find you?
Oh,
where,
we done quit.
Socials.
Just ask anybody.
We're
to do it.
done.
What are you
We're
doing
done,
now?
man.
That's what people say. Man,
Somebody asked my dad that the other day. They said, when you going to play again? And he said, well, I was just in Birmingham. This was in Fort Payne. Somebody asked him, they said, well,
Look.
Randy, when you going to play again? He's like, we just played Birmingham, like an hour and a half down the road.
That is the thing. If you're not playing on the radio,
Yep,
and
that's-
you don't have a show close to somebody,
Yep.
then they think you've quit.
They think you've quit.
I mean, they
yeah.
just don't know.
Yeah, why won't you come
But
back,
I'll get that-
Neal? Yeah, you're like, you get it. I mean,
We're running out here.
Yeah.
We're running.
So where do they find you on your socials and your website? and all that?
NealMcCoy.com.
Yep. Okay.
And then we got a bunch of social stuff
yeah.
out there.
Okay. You just put out a new the video where you're in the field.
Oh,
you're
yeah, down on the farm with the Moffitt
Yeah, you did.
brothers.
Yeah. That was really cool, by the way. I keep up with you. I'm watching what's going on. but
Well,
that
they
was
are.
really cool.
They're a group that came to Nashville in the '90s. Their dad brought them. They're Canadian.
Yes.
The four brothers. And
Yes.
the two that I was with, Bob and Clint, they're twins.
Yes.
And so they reached out to me about one day because they have a big channel, Music Travel Love is
Yeah.
and they go all over the world.
Yeah.
And they'll sing a song with somebody from that island or from that country, a real popular song.
Yeah.
But they called me, I don't know, a year ago and said, hey, Neal, they told us about the Music Travel Love stuff. And I looked them up and said, man, that's fantastic. Congrats, 9 million followers or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And they said, but we want to, they said, when we got to meet you in the 90s, when we were coming there, our dad was, they'll say, well, our dad was a little hard. He always wanted us to sing,
Yeah.
okay, sing now, boys. Here's me. Sing, take off, sing.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Just had them, yeah. And so they said, you were always really nice to us. And we were young,
Yep.
but you talked to us and
Made
didn't
them
talk
feel-
above us.
yep.
And they said, so this is what we did. They told me about Music Travel Love, and I went and looked at that, and I said, oh, man, y'all are doing great.
Yeah.
They said, well, we want to start another thing, and we'd love for you to be, on early opening of it. And that's the Down on the Farm.
Yeah.
That's what that's called.
Yeah.
There. We got another one called No Doubt About It.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
we did
Love
it at
that
the same
song.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that'll come out. But I said, golly, I think it's great. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny little thing about the Moffitts.
uh-oh.
They sang on the Alabama Christmas album, "Christmas Is Love."
Oh, wow.
They're the kids that back and you hear it like that at that time because they had a record deal.
They did for a little bit.
For
yeah.
a little while in Nashville.
And then they'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Our dad was just overbearing and
Yeah, the
You know, he
typical
was
like
stage
show
dad.
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but I did see that. I've seen that where and I was like, oh, that's the Moffat. That's the Moffat
Yeah.
brothers. Two of the brothers and
my daughter
but
loved
yeah.
them.
Oh no,
She was about their age. She loved them as a kid.
absolutely. No,
Man.
yeah, but they did. They were on Alabama's. Just tying that back. You said that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that was the Moffats. They came down and
Reckon
sang
what happened to
them.
them?
Hey, yeah.
what they're doing
I know.
now.
What are they doing now? I'm not really
Oh,
sure. Well, I listen. I love you. I really mean
Oh,
that sincerely,
thank
and
you.
so excited to have you here because again, I'm going to say this: people, artists, people in the industry. When I was a kid, talking about how you treat people.
Yeah.
You kind of notice how they like little kids and different things like that. If people just kind of ignore them and all
Yeah.
that. And I remember some people being like that, but then I also remember how nice and kind most people were.
That's right.
And so you just don't. It always imprints on you as a kid. So true
Good.
entertainer, legendary guy.
You know why?
Can't
Because
find
I'm a
a better one.
legend.
That's it. That's it. Just capital L legend.
That's right.
Okay. You're at the end
That's
of
right.
Neal, it's a capital L for legend. That's what we're gonna do. But no, thank you so much for your time, for
ma'am.
being here.
You're
Maybe
welcome.
we'll do it again. We'll see you hopefully out there on the road, and come
We'll be
come
out
catch
there.
it. I know you. Yeah, when you going to play again? Right? That's what.
Yeah.
When
I
you
wish
go-
I had a
I
plane.
know, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, thanks for being here.
You're
and
welcome.
and
I
we're
had a
gonna
great time.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time, and getting to talk about you.
Tell your
and
mom and daddy I said, hey.
Oh, I'm going to tell them, and they said the same back to you. Say, oh,
Good.
Neal, yeah, and so tell him hey. So
Yeah.
so they said hey. I'll tell them that you said hey. But
All right,
but
good.
we'll see you out there on the road.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Keep up the
And
great work you're doing with this thing. Where can I hear this? I'm so ignorant.
We're gonna send. We will send you all the links, and yes, so
Okay.
you can hear. So
Good.
you can catch Uncharted Alabama on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube.
Good for you.
Pretty much, and,
You're
you know,
everywhere.
we're everywhere that
that
we
other people
can
go.
be. Yes,
Yeah.
everywhere that we can be. So we're just trying to spread the love and the word.
Yeah.
And Alabama's putting it out on their socials and different things too.
Good. Well,
so
we'll put it out there also.
So I appreciate it. For us, it's just a way to continue love for Alabama.
Yeah.
And then crisscross it. We talk about what you got. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just that has careers have crossed and paths have crossed, and again about that camaraderie that a
Yeah.
lot of artists have that. Maybe, I don't know if they do now, but it definitely is from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So
Yeah.
so we're gonna keep spreading the love.
That's right.
We're gonna keep doing the
We are too.
episodes. Keep bringing Uncharted Alabama to you again.
Well, I'll
So,
start telling our
just
people.
thrilled. Yes.
I'll start telling our people to go to Uncharted Alabama. Are y'all doing? Are you already up?
Yes,
Now
we're
doing it?
up.
Okay,
Yep.
some of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll tell them. And I'll just be a dummy. Say I don't know when we're going to be on there, but go over and listen to them because
Yes.
she was a lot of fun to talk to, and I think
Oh.
you're going to love the whole vibe of it.
Well, thank
and
you
that's,
so
That's how
much.
you get.
It
Yeah,
is.
shoot,
It
you're
is.
welcome.
Well, you have a voice that people want to listen to, so I appreciate that. But thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
We are again. This is awesome. This is awesome. One of my
This is
heroes growing up as a kid. June Jam. All my June Jammers out there.
Yeah, June
you
Jam,
know
rock.
exactly what I'm talking about. In your heart, I've heard you all talk about it. So thank you guys for watching and listening. We're going to keep doing Uncharted Alabama as long as we possibly can. So you guys keep listening. Comment, like, subscribe, share.
But don't comment if you're going to be an idiot.
That.
Just comment if you're nice.
Just tell us how much you love
Yeah, the
us.
rest
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. Well, I have such a sensitive ego. I can't handle it. No, I can't. Hey, I've grown up in a way I can handle a lot. I promise
right.
you.
I
I
understand.
promise. But no, thank you guys for listening and watching. And we're gonna keep it rolling. Thank you to Neal McCoy. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep your eyes on the road, keep your heart in the music, and roll on. Roll on.
Roll on. Hey, everybody, Neal McCoy here, and you're listening to Uncharted Alabama.